Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RCRC. That is the Relationship Connection with Ronald and Charlie. I am Charlie Willis, a mental health therapist.
I'm Ronald Willis, a marriage and family therapist, and today we're looking at something you cannot avoid, and that is conflict.
That is true.
We want to avoid it, but should we?
That is also true.
That is also true. Let's watch this clip, y'all. Charlie, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? Laundry.
This is my day to do laundry. This is my day.
Ronald, please, it doesn't matter. I'll be done in a few minutes. Just give me a little bit. A couple of loads to do.
Why are you always washing clothes on my day?
I'm not always washing clothes on your day, and anyway, that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. There's only two of us in the house.
It's not stupid. It's organized. You got a day and I got a day.
Ronald, really? Come on now. I got too many things to do to be worried about a day.
One thing you should be doing is not washing clothes on my day when I get ready to wash clothes.
Ronald, it can wait. Believe me, it can.
Yours can wait on your day.
I'm not waiting to wash my clothes, and I'm not doing that stupid day thing. I'm not doing it.
We already agreed.
No, I'm not doing it. You're always trying to control something. I'm not doing it. You can wait.
What do you mean I'm always trying to control something?
You are. You always
I'm not trying to control anything. I'm trying to have stuff organized right here. You got a day and I got a day. Why is that going to control to you?
Because you think, you come up with these ideas and think.
You agreed, right?
No. No, not really.
What do you mean?
I only said that so you can move, Ronald. I don't have time.
So you lied.
I didn't lie. I changed my mind.
Sounds like a lie to me.
It's not. Anyway.
That's why this relationship don't work.
What?
Because you're always lying.
About washing clothes?
No, about lying about stuff. I talk about stuff and then you agree, then you don't agree. Then now you're lying about it. Now we're going through this crap.
Really, Ronald?
That's right.
That doesn't make any sense. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just take my clothes somewhere else. You know what? I'll take them to the life center. How about that? And when Pastor,
the life center?
Yes. And when Pastor asks me what I'm doing,
There's no wash and dry.
They do have a washer and dryer.
It doesn't work.
It does.
It does not.
You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm out.
Who are you going at?
Somewhere else.
Did we have some conflict, Charlie?
That is true.
That is true, man. Is that all you're going to say? That is true. That is true.
There was conflict.
There was a lot of conflict going on. And did we resolve the conflict?
It doesn't appear that we did. There was a lot going on here. Some things I felt that wasn't necessary, and obviously something you did. But before we get into that, we want you to know that we are here to equip, empower, and educate couples on how to thrive in their relationships. How? Through candid conversations right here on this platform.
And don't forget to help support this ministry by making a contribution to our Cash App at First Focus Faith. And if you watch my YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe, do it all.
Because we need it all.
All right, y'all.
All right, let's move forward. Now, let's get down to the weeds of this. Clearly, this was ridiculous. You know, it was ridiculous from the start. Why is it ridiculous from the start if I feel like you're washing clothes on my day? Why is that ridiculous for you? Because there's only two people in the household.
Yeah, but we had an agreement, though. And if the agreement is going to be changed, then that requires a conversation so there's an understanding about this new agreement. But originally we had agreement because we had more people in the home and stuff. We were going to wash clothes on a certain day because we was kind of stepping over each other and washing clothes.
Yes, true.
And so then, you know, now it's just us two in the home, but no one came and said, hey, let's have a conversation and talk about this. We really don't need to have these wash days anymore. We don't have that many people in the house anymore.
But see how just too structured that is. I mean,
right.
just wash your clothes.
Right, but if you're not as structured and I'm as structured, we still gotta have a conversation though, because you know we're different. You think this way and I think this way, so it should exclude a conversation so we can come back to an agreement. You don't just simply say, "Hey, I'm gonna ignore the original agreement and start doing what I want to do without even coming to me to have a discussion about it.
You're
What was
right.
That look, man, the look is going on, y'all.
You're right. I should have known better.
Yeah, because you're gonna have conflicts in a relationship. Okay, it can't be avoided because there's no way we're gonna 100% always agree. You're different from me, a different background, a different gender, a different thought, different feelings. So naturally, we will have some disagreements about it,
Okay, and
about things.
yeah, right. Okay, so classic. Here, I stepped into a whole different arena because here I'm thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. Here we go again, something structured on a platform where it's just two of us. You know,
Yeah.
he's making a big deal out of something that doesn't need to be making a big deal.
Well, clearly
of
in
it.
the skit, this is not you. This wasn't your first time doing it, as I echoed in the skit.
I don't remember all that, but I do
Don't remember
remember
all that. Yeah, okay.
feeling like you were trying to be in control as usual. In control when there shouldn't be.
You're
Why
right.
can't we just
It shouldn't
live?
be.
Why can't we just
But
wash
I-
our clothes when we want to?
Because if I'm waiting to wash my clothes on a certain day, right? And let's say I got a lot of clothes to wash, and then all of a sudden I can't wash my clothes on that day, how is it going to affect me?
I don't know.
That's right. How's it going to affect me? I may have 4 loads of clothes to wash. Got to go to work tomorrow. This is my day. So naturally, I'm trying to get it done, and then I can't get it done because you're washing clothes on the same day.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there's no understanding about how we're going to navigate in this new arena we're at where only 2 people are at the house. There's no conversation, no understanding. So therefore, there's a disagreement going on. And it causes a conflict. And the question is, what is conflict?
All right. That is a good question. And as we go into this, think about some of the things that go on in your household that seems
It creates conflicts.
minute
Okay,
to some and bigger to others.
Right.
But no,
and you never want to minimize something because you think it's minute and the other person think it's big.
I'm moving forward to that.
Yeah,
In
that's
all
right.
honesty,
Minute.
in all honesty, because I know who my partner is, I should have brought that conversation to him, whether I felt that it was minute or not. So,
Right. I think it goes beyond just not knowing who your partner is, but just out of respect for another person.
yeah, I knew you was gonna go there with that.
That's right. You just have the conversation so there's understanding because clearly we have different thoughts and different feelings. But I want to go back to my question. What is conflict, Charlie?
All right, I have a definition here for what is conflict. Conflict is the emotional pain that comes from a disagreement.
Is that right?
Emotional pain?
You don't think so?
I mean, there's some hurt.
There's some emotional stuff going on, and emotional is not feeling good when we're disagreeing. Because you can disagree and don't have the conflict, but when you disagree and you're not able to resolve it, that's where your emotional pain going on.
I can go with that. I can
Yeah.
go with that. Okay, I can go
Because
with
I'm
that.
upset with you, you're upset with me, and we start attacking each other as you clearly saw in the skit. Sound like a lie to me.
It's not. Anyway.
That's why this relationship don't work.
What?
Because you're always lying.
About washing clothes?
No, about lying about stuff. I talk about stuff and then you agree, then you don't agree. Then now you're lying about it. Now we're going through this crap.
Really, Ronald?
That's
You know
right.
what? That doesn't make any sense. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just take my clothes somewhere else. You know what? I'll take them to the life center. How about that?
I'll attack you
Did I attack you?
and you attack me.
Did I?
And the end result is that I'm leaving. I'm going to, I don't know where we was going at. The Life Center.
Yeah, I
some
was going
kind
to
of-
the church.
Yeah.
And
to the
as
church
soon
to wash
as-
clothes.
That's what I was
Really?
gonna do.
You got a washer and dryer at the home. Seemed like you just try to stay and try to resolve this conflict versus just leaving. Because if you leave like that, did the conflict get resolved?
It was as soon as I got to church and the pastor asked me,
No, the conflict is not going to get resolved
why are
through
you
the
here
pastor.
washing clothes?
Yeah, but still, the pastor probably gonna say, "Hey, you need to go home and talk to your husband." That's how the conflict gonna get resolved. It's not gonna get resolved by you leaving, going to the Life Center at the church and talk to your pastor. Your pastor cannot resolve that conflict.
I had no plans on talking to the pastor. He just was gonna see me washing clothes.
Right, but I'm saying the goal is to resolve the conflict, and those efforts will not resolve the conflict. They will not. You leaving the house. The resolve the conflict, there has to be some communication with us. We have to talk, right?
Okay.
Because we saying that the conflict is emotional pain, and anytime you have emotional pain, you should want to be healed from the pain.
Of course. So let's talk about what you could have done better.
What we could have done better. Okay. In other words, when we learn how to resolve the conflict, we also learn how to heal. The conflict is gonna occur. Are you gonna heal? Are you gonna run away from it? You gonna avoid it? Are you gonna make it last longer than it should be? Especially something simplistic as washing clothes.
Now, for Charlie's defense, I would say that Ronald must keep an open mind, and Charlie must do the same, because we want to take, everyone's feelings have to be into play here.
Right. So let's go to our first point then.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us to our first point, which is be accountable for your actions.
That's right. So you can't point the finger at Ron. You really got to look in the mirror and see what contribution you made toward the conflict and hold yourself accountable for that.
So in what way was I not being accountable? Or Charlie wasn't being accountable?
Well, did you respect my feelings about washing the clothes on my day?
I did not.
Okay. Did you hold yourself accountable for washing clothes on my day?
I did not.
There was no, hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't wash clothes on your day. I'm sorry, maybe we should have talked about it and stuff, because it's just two of us in the house. Because I'm not thinking like you thinking. You're not thinking like I'm thinking. There was no accountability at all.
Okay.
In the skit, there was none.
There was none. I can attest to that.
So,
and let's read the scripture.
That's right. You look at self and what you can do. You don't look at me and blame me for it.
I got it. Let's read the scripture.
Yeah. What the scripture say, y'all?
James 5:16, this is a KJV version, says, confess your faults to one another and pray for one another that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Man, that summed it up. You are in this area where the emotional pain has occurred from this conflict, and now the resolution is to be healed. And so the first step toward healing is what? Confess your faults. Don't blame the other person. In other words, hold yourself accountable for where you at in this conflict, so both of y'all can get what y'all need, and that is to be healed from this emotional pain.
My bad.
My bad.
Yeah, I definitely could have, or Charlie, could have apologized and
could have cleaned that up.
You know what? What day is this?
Yeah. But
I am on the wrong day.
I didn't come in right either. Now, don't get it twisted. Now.
Oh, I ain't finished.
Oh, you ain't finished. You ain't finished. All right. But I love it. Confess your faults to one another, and then pray for one another. Do you think we get in the middle of a conflict and start thinking about praying for one another?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I'm playing the blame game. What's our next one though, Charlie?
All right, so point number 2 is overcome being selfish. What?
It's all about me, my thoughts, and my feelings only.
I'm just trying to get my clothes washed.
My point exactly. I'm just trying to get my clothes washed on somebody else's day. That's all about your thoughts and your feelings. How many clothes did I have to wash?
I don't know.
That's my point exactly. You don't know. I might have 3-4 loads because I've been waiting. I said, okay, then I can't wash this clothes this day. I can't wash this clothes this day. I gotta wait till this day to wash my clothes, and then when I get to wash my clothes,
I mean,
I can't.
You really didn't have to wait. You could have asked, or you could have said something.
Well, I was trying to be respectful of your day.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to understand that this conflict comes from this emotional pain, right? But you cannot just solely focus on how you are feeling. There's 2 feelings in the play: your feelings and your partner feelings. If you solely focus on your feelings, then you're being selfish. This is not saying that you don't not focus on your feelings. This saying that you don't solely focus on your feelings. In other words, when you navigate in the conversation and stuff, right, you are trying to connect to your partner feelings and understanding where they're coming from, so you don't solely focus on your feelings. Because if you do that, you are being you are being selfish.
Okay, and
It's
so
two feelings involved, not one.
let's keep this in mind. Although we are using this skit as in the washing clothes incident, I'm pretty sure that you have some things that go on in your relationship that you may have felt like your partner did not take accountability or was being selfish.
Yeah. Everything in all situations, regardless of what you're doing or what you're hearing, always include both partner feelings.
And then and I would say also that if you're the type of person that you've been doing things your own way, this may be hard at first. It may be hard to, because no way was I really thinking, that it mattered. I wasn't intentionally trying to disregard or disrespect you until you start talking to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Did you watch this again? Because I did.
I said until you start talking to me, until you came in the door.
When you started washing clothes, you weren't thinking about.
That's what I'm saying.
That it was my day to wash clothes.
I
You were
wasn't
just trying to
thinking
get
that.
your clothes washed.
Yeah, I was just trying to get my clothes washed.
Yeah, but when I did convey the message, you didn't like, okay, my fault. You didn't hold yourself accountable.
My bad.
Yeah, you didn't do any. You minimized it.
I did.
Right.
I did.
And then you said, well, it was only two of us in here. I mean, that's a great point. Okay, but what has transpired before that?
Right.
Well, me not washing my clothes, waiting on the day to wash my clothes. Now I'm behind, but then I can't do it.
Sorry.
Yeah. What does scripture say?
All right. So Philippians 2:3 says, and this is the NIV version, it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself."
In other words, you have to include the other person's feelings. You can't value someone above yourself if you don't include their feelings in your thought process.
Now, I would say that, just like I said, I initially looked at disrespecting you. I was just trying to get my clothes washed. I did have the opportunity to stop and think about this once you have made your presence known.
Once the mistake has occurred, it requires you to have a different response.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely could have put in.
Right, because we're not trying to tell you to be perfect. We're trying to convey how to resolve conflicts when they occur, because conflict will come out of some imperfection going on, some disagreements going on, and so these things is going to happen in your relationship. But the question is, when these things occur, how are you going to respond?
That's right. How are you going to respond?
Yeah.
That is big. That is key.
All right.
All right.
All right. What's another one, Charlie?
Before we go into the next
Commercial
point,
break.
that's my line. We want to stop and take a commercial break. Be right back.
All right, we're back from the commercial break.
All right.
And we're looking at how to resolve conflict in your relationship. And we've provided 2 points, and one was just being accountable, and then the other one is don't be selfish, Charlie.
Right.
Ronald. What's the third point, Charlie?
All right. Now, for the sake of time, I will tell you that these, of course, there are more points to what it takes to resolve conflict or to look at someone else's or your partner's point of view. But we're just giving you a few. All right. All right.
Yeah, because we only got 30 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. All right. So the next point is do not avoid confrontation.
Ooh. Don't we try to avoid confrontation?
as much as
I don't
possible.
wanna confront.
Well, it depends.
I don't want to
It
argue.
depends. Like some partners are different. Like some like say, hey, we got to hash this out. We got to find out what's going on. We got to lay down the groundwork to getting this, taken care of. And there's others who don't want to talk about it. Who don't want to be, they just want to move
Yeah,
on.
I think a lot of people try to avoid confrontation. I just think a lot do.
I mean, well, yeah, I can say that.
Because we normally see confrontation as something negative. When I confront you, we're gonna argue and stuff. So I don't want to argue. So I'm just gonna avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, confrontation. Yes, it sounds like a negative,
But it's
connotation.
not. Though. It's
Okay,
not
put
negative. It's
that out
healthy
there.
for your relationship because it'll allow you to convey your message and get an understanding of how you're feeling and your thoughts. In other words, when you talk, you want something that is to be heard. But if you don't confront anything, then you will not be heard. So you have to confront things, but you want to confront it in a loving way to make it healthy and positive in your relationship versus arguing, shouting, and being angry with confrontation. And of course, then when you do it like that, you make confrontation negative.
Right. So now, when we step back and take a look at the skit of what just happened, could Ronald have done a better job?
I could have came and did a better job. I should have came from a place of expressing my feelings about what's going on versus pointing the finger at you. In other words, we have a technique we call the I statement. And the I statement is simply telling Charlie how I feel about what is going on, and while I do this, I avoid the word you. As you can see, I did use the word you in there, and use an attacking word, and a lot of times it creates arguments and create defensiveness in your meshes, and your meshes get lost. You don't get what you want. That's to be heard, and no one's listening to what is going on. So, we don't have time to talk about the I message, but it is huge to execute in your relationship so that you can be heard. And then it'll make confrontation healthy in your relationship because now I'm expressing my feelings versus pointing my finger at something that you did that I did not like.
Right. Okay.
Like I did in the skit. What are you doing here? This is my day off. There was no feelings expressed in that conversation. There was none. Okay.
Yeah, because you got a lot of looks.
Yeah, I'm looking at you all hard and stuff, right?
No, I'm looking at you like you crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you always do that, so anyway.
Right. All right, so let's look at scripture, what scripture says, okay? So Matthew 18:15, and this is the Message version. If a fellow believer hurts you, go and tell him. Work it out between the two of you. If he listens, you've made a friend.
Ooh, that is good, isn't it?
So if you don't listen, you're a foe?
Yeah, because when you talk, what do you want? You want to be heard.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you understand that the person talking want to be heard, then it becomes your job to listen.
Right.
When you understand that. And then you see the power of listening, how it draws us in closer and make connection. The scriptures highlight you make a friend when you say something and they
Right.
listen to what you are saying. But you are the author of conveying the message that create a formula for me to listen. If you come at me wrong, or if you say something wrong, or if you attack me in such ways, I'm not going to listen to you. I want to attack you back.
That's right. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say next.
And that's why going back to the earlier the other point, the I statement is a huge technique to use so that you can be heard and the other person will listen to you. Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Right. So and it'll help you so that you won't avoid confrontation. You be more open to talk about sensitive subject to your partner because you're going to get what you want, and that is to be heard.
All right. So let's wrap this up with another point that is very, very important.
What is that point, Charlie? It's so important. What is it? Help us out.
With all of this conflict and confrontation going on, we must have forgiveness. Right?
That is huge. And if you look at really how to solve a conflict, it can't be solved without forgiveness. You're not going. The first point we talked about accountability. Well, forgiveness is not involved, then you're not going to be accountable. You're not.
Right.
Yeah. And what was the second point? The second point was overcome being selfish.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Well,
be selfish
if forgiveness
about it.
involved, you're not gonna overcome being selfish.
See that as well?
In the third point of conversation, well, forgiveness is not involved.
You're not even going to get to
You're
it.
not gonna avoid. You're gonna avoid confrontation because you don't want to talk about it.
Right.
And so when you sum up how to resolve conflict, you got to have forgiveness. See, forgiveness is your medication. Remember we talked about this emotional pain that need to be healed.
That's right.
And if you look at healing always involved a medication to get the healing, right?
Some form of fashion, yes.
Some
that's
form of
true.
fashion. That's a medication, and medication is not always the pills that you pop, especially in the emotional arena.
Right.
Forgiveness is your medication for your healing, for this emotional pain that has occurred.
So Colossians 3:13 in the NIV version tells us, "Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you have a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you."
And this scripture really highlights a relationship with God. In other words, right, you want a relationship with God to help you in this forgiveness arena, so that as you navigate in these conversations and stuff, right, the spirit be on the inside of you to forgive the person, your partner, as God forgives you.
Right. So you actually, there had needed to be some forgivenness going
I should have
on.
came with a forgiveness spirit from the start.
I mean,
I mean,
I had no ill intent.
okay, here we gonna have no ill intent. We go. Yeah, the thing about it, if I had this forgiveness spirit, as I walked in and saw that you was washing clothes, I probably would have said, "Oh, you washing clothes? When you gonna be finished?"
I know.
You said like, "Oh, I just got one clothes." Okay, then just let me know when you finish. Move on. And then maybe later on I talk about, hey, I was given to wash clothes, and I was thinking that this was my day. What happened with that?
That? It was your day. I must
Right.
have made a mistake.
Well, I tell you on camera now. You would not have responded like that. Everybody know that you would not have
I
responded
could
like
have
that.
responded like
you
that.
wouldn't. But anyway, so I would have came in with a different approach.
Right.
Okay.
You would've got a different response,
Because when
though.
I first walked in, there was conflict. And the first thing I should have done was put in my spirit forgiveness. And it never get to the other place of attacking and all the things that we're doing, and you finally walking out, going to another place to wash your clothes. It never get there. Because I understand how to resolve conflict. And although this is our last point, it always starts with forgiveness.
So thank you guys for watching us tonight, and tune in again next week, and we'll have another exciting episode of RCRC, the Relationship Connection. Bye-bye.